And this is a quick video to show you how to do a magazine cover on a famous photographer. This is the midterm project. It's worth 10% of your grade. First thing you need to do is you need to research your photographer. So I'm going over to my web browser. I have already pre-selected several items for this project as a sample so it goes quicker for us. The one thing I do want to point out with image search is this. If you go to Google Advanced Image Search, so if you type in Google Advanced Image Search, you'll get here. And then if you search for your photographer, let me just look for, I don't know who, Annie Leibovitz. A couple people are doing her. And you put her name in quotes, you're going to get pictures of her probably. Change any size. It has to be, I'd say, larger than 2 megapixel. So it's big enough for your magazine cover background. Then I'm going to hit advanced search. This is what I'm going to get. I get lots of different things. Some are covers of her, some are photos of hers, some are pictures of her. I'm going to click on this first one. Well, I could really go through and look and pick, but I'm going to click on this one. And when I click over here, all of a sudden you see it's showing up that this picture is 1294 by 1600. Might be big enough for my project. If so, I'm going to right click, open image in new tab. My tabs are over here. And it's a little out of focus, but you know what? It is going to be big enough. So I would save my image, right clicking, to do this. But for this project, I've decided for my demo, because some of you may do Annie Leibovitz, I am going to do the demonstration on myself. When you're looking up Annie Leibovitz, not only do you need to look her up, but you also need to look up famous photos of hers. There are a lot. So you would save those as well. She's a portrait artist. She's done some beautiful work. She's photographed so many famous people. So with that said, you will gather 3 photographs that you love by your photographer, including a photo of the photographer that is large, high res. And you are also making sure that you're picking photographs that are appropriate for public high school. Once you have your photos and you've done research on them, you go over to Photoshop. This is in the directions. You go to Command N, New File. Over here, change this to inches. The directions say to make this 8.5 by 11 inches, which I'm doing now. 8.5, 11, resolution is 300. Background, just leave it white. I'm going to hit create. This is your space. Now, I need to go over and find the photos that I have saved. If I'm talking fast, please slow me down in the directions, the YouTube speed. Okay, I've already selected a couple pictures. There's the headshot picture. So it's going to be my background photograph. Here is the photograph. I'm doing this from the perspective of a senior portrait photographer. So I have 3 senior portraits, different people I have photographed. This is Emma. This is Claire. This is Trey. So I'm going to get all of these pictures into Photoshop. Easiest way, drag them. Okay? So, first picture. It's like, okay, I need to make it a little bit bigger. If you pick a picture too small, this will look really pixelated and affect your grade. Now, there's a lot of data at the top. There's some data at the bottom. I'm going to go here. Yeah, right around there. Hit enter. Next picture's coming in. Oh, there's Emma. So we're going to make these pictures a little tinier, okay? Oh, maybe I want them down here at the bottom. Sure. There's Emma. Here's Claire. Now, it's really cool if you can make these the same size. If you drag and drop them, Photoshop's going to ask you what size you want to make them. So there's Claire, same size as Emma, more or less. And Trey. If you make all of your little pictures the same size, you're going to make me very happy. And I'll be like, yay, I'm happy. Your grade's good. So there they are. Now, I can use my move tool. I can move them around. So here we go. All 3 of the people. Now, if I select all 3 of these, I'm going to get a little bounding box up here in the option menu where I can just make them all, line them all up, make them look all pretty. So I've done that here. I can zoom in of course. And I could drag a ruler down here and say, ooh, Trey's a little bigger than the other two. All right, well, you make them a little smaller. Now remember, if this doesn't do it automatically, I'm hitting Command T. Okay, this line here is called a roller guideline. If you're in your roller and you drag, it'll give it to you in case you want to like line stuff up. It doesn't show up in the final picture, so it's only on your screen. So I put the 3 pictures. Ooh, they are not in the center. So I may select all of them, kind of drag them over, make them look nice. Do not just randomly place them somewhere. Next up, I'm going to put the name of the photographer. Name. And I'm going to do it up here. And since I am using myself as a demo, not because I'm narcissistic, but because I'm off limits and you can't use me, there I am. Give myself a little room to breathe. Now, you need to pick your font, so you decide what the font needs to be. In this case, I'm selecting my font. Maybe I'll get a font out of the picture. What do I have here? I'll use the white of my eyes. There we go. Or I can use a color. I'll do that. I'll pull a color from the pictures for this. It'll be fun. So you need a name. You need a tagline as well. So if I want to use the same thing, I could hit Command J. And then I could just drag it. Look. Same name. Now I could put portrait photographer. Now, the font that I'm using right now doesn't have lowercase. I know that already. So, no lowercase for me. That looks pretty cool. Okay. Now, next thing you need are 3 facts about your photographer. Let's make that bigger. 3 facts about the photographer. Let's go with teaches high school and college photography. And man, I can't even read that, so tiny. Zoom in. Teaches. Wow. Okay, teaches high school and college photography. I'm going great. Good to know. Okay. And maybe I don't want that small. Maybe I want a little bit larger, okay? That is kind of tiny. 18? Sure. That's one fact. Now, do I want this to be... If I do that, now it's 2 lines. I just hit enter in between. And maybe I went over here. I don't know where I went. I'm just saying. Okay, I could, since I already made it, I could do that where I make a copy of it. Now, let's say I want to make a different color. Because you want colors and you want fonts that are complementary to your photographer. If you're doing wedding photographer and you use like some kind of weird block Arial font, it's not going to look good. You also have to use a font that you can read on the screen. Okay, so I got, oops. Don't do that, Devin. Okay, let's go back to history. I can go back and not screw that up. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm going to grab a color from his shirt, maybe that blue. I hit OK. Now, maybe I'm going to go ahead and copy it again. I'm using the Move tool, by the way. Move tool's great. Oh, and then this one, what else do I do here? Portrait? No, I don't want to say that. Maybe studied black and white photography at, oops, weird. At Penn State. Okay, I'm just gonna hit enter here. I'm getting some kind of weird. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's try something different here. So, I don't know why it's making it like that. There you go. Okay, whatever. Cool. And then the third one, what could I say about the third one? How about something along the lines of photography shown in, I don't know, 24 art shows from 2012 to 2020. 20. Let's just say I did that, which I did, more or less. So if that happens where you have like stuff sitting on top of each other, it's this button here. You gotta change this number and it will stretch, it will give you more room between them. That looks pretty good. But I want a different color. Now all of yours can be the same color. I'm grabbing a different color because I think it's more interesting. There's some gold, some yellows, there's a little bit of green, gray. What if I do that? That looks okay. So I now have had, okay, hit okay. I now have 3 different things. And you have to be able to see it, right? So I'm going to grab all 3 of these. And I'm going to just left justify them so they all line up. Just because I want them to. Looks pretty good. Or I could right justify them since they're on the right side of the paper. That looks okay too. It's not perfect. So there we go. Now, if you have a lot of room, like a lot of empty room somewhere, you could move these. And let's say this bottom one, you don't want it, maybe you want it kind of filled out a little bit more like this. You can do that as well. Okay. So whatever, line them up. So you select all of them to line them up. If you're the move tool and you select the 3 of them, that's kind of interesting to me. Okay, or again, if it's on the right side, you can always right justify them like that too. And then that's it. That's what you're going to do. You're going to save this work, file, save first of all, because if you work on a multiple days, save it as a Photoshop file. Okay, onto your computer, hit save, remember. Okay, obviously it's not supposed to be PDF, that's just my fault because that's how I saved it. Anyway, so once you're done working on it, export it. If you're totally finished, save for web just like usual. It's already set, the size is already set, everything. Save it, name it correctly, magazine, cover, I'm called sample. I'm gonna hit save wherever you save stuff. Okay, that's what you're turning in. You're turning this in. You are also turning in the outline. You have to do the outline, look up information about your person, learn more about them. The outline is due Sunday, the project's due Sunday. If you have categories in the biography that you cannot figure out or don't know, because maybe it doesn't exist, like awards, or maybe their death doesn't exist because they're not dead, leave that blank. Just put unknown or still living or something. I hope this is helpful. Submit this on Monday. I'm gonna open this up in Canvas on the front board on the TV screen, and you are going to present and talk to me about your person. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great day.